Hello everyone, my name is Jen. Welcome to my channel on this very sunny February 12th, 2026. It's been almost exactly a month since my last update, so I really wanted to hop on here while I didn't have too many things. I have a lot of things to show you, but it shouldn't take too long. So thank you very much for joining me today, or whenever you're joining me. Thank you to those who watched and those who left comments on my last video. Very much appreciated. I do like to interact with other stitchers and crafters out there. So let's see, February. So this will be January and February update. So I have some cross stitch finishes. I have 3. I have only 2 cross stitch things that I've worked on for the last month, so I can show you that. I have quite a bit of crochet, and I have some small quilty projects and just some sewing plans. I've been doing a lot of nesting, I guess you could call it, the last month or so, which I find I do in, deep winter. I painted my basement, and I've been doing some little DIY things around the house and just, enjoying myself, doing some other crafts, I made some rose petal bath salts. That was nice. I'm going to make some chocolates here this afternoon. So it just kind of gives me an opportunity to branch out a little bit, because I am a multi-crafter, and sometimes I just really get, entrenched in the crochet, cross stitch, and quilting thing. So it's nice to spread my wings a little bit. Okay, so I think we will just get right into it. Cross stitch. So let's do finishes. So these 2 you've seen. I didn't have them fully finished. My last video, I was working on a lot of snowflake things. So this is one part of a snowflake biscornu, and it's from Fabi Riley, and it was a free chart. I only stitched one side because I just wanted to frame it. So this is my fully finish. I doubt you can see because of the sun today, but I did add some beads, and when I added the beads are pretty much the same color as the area they're in. So these beads are the same, as close as I could get to the floss color here. The white snowflakes, I used just a crystal clear, and then of course the darker blue in the center. So I don't think this is going to be its forever frame, because I think I would like something that's actually just more silver, and I don't want to paint this one. So I'll just keep my eye open at the thrift store. But yeah, I'm pleased with that. I love the fabric. It's an opalescent even weave. I think it's 28, and it's a lovely mottled blue. Like, the whole thing is just so snowy and lovely. All those lovely wintry colors. So quite pleased with that. Although when I finished this one and the next one, I was so over snowflakes. All I wanted to do was Valentine stitching, so it was really hard for me to just, get the beads out and finish these off for good. So this next one, it was just called Snow, and it was a freebie from Marie McDonald of Whispered by the Wind. I haven't been able to find it. I don't know if it was just a shop freebie or if it was a freebie on a website or anything, but I can't find it. So this is my finish. I had a lot of trouble stitching on this opalescent even weave, even though it's the same count as the other one, so I'm not sure what it was. I do love the finished effect though. It is so sparkly, and I decided I wanted to do a beaded edge. So it's not even, it's not, I just did a whip stitch and added a bead and just did that all the way around. In the corners, I threaded 5 beads on, just to make kind of a loop. But But oh my gosh, I love it. I mean, when the sun hits this, the beads sparkle and the threads, the opalescent threads and the fabric sparkle, and it's just like, oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. And then I backed it with this piece of fabric I had in my stash, so I thought that was kind of appropriate. And there's a bead back there as well. Goes through the center of the snowflake. So despite this being, you know, kind of a pain in the butt to stitch, I am very happy with the outcome. Like really, really happy. So this is probably one of my favorite pieces of the season. There we are. And my last finish, it's not fully finished yet. I am not exactly sure what I'm going to do. So this is February Quaker from the Heart Needle Art. So I didn't purchase them all. I purchased some of the, just the ones I liked last year. So I've already done January, I've done December, now February. I'm not sure when I'll get the other ones done. Now in the chart, this was charted to be the 2 shades of pink, light pink and a kind of a lipstick pink. And then this was green. And I did really like that. I did pull a green and they all looked really good together, and it was just so fresh and pretty looking. But I really wanted it to just be straight up Valentine colors. I know Valentine's Day is halfway through the month, but I just wanted it to be that way. So I switched it over to red. I switched the green to red, and it's a Valdani, I think it's called Proud Turkey. Anyway, lovely variegated red. So I just finished this last night, and I was super tired, and I made a mistake on the last motif. So it's farther over this way than it should be. And just to fill up the empty space here, I just did a little heart and an arrow. I mean, you know, nobody is gonna know who doesn't stitch these. So I'm thinking, so I just have it mounted on a piece of mat board at the moment. I think I'll probably mount it in a frame, and I'll put a piece of fabric or scrapbook paper on a bigger piece of cardboard and put it in a frame. Very much like I did with this one here. So that's a piece I did last year. It's from Tiny Modernist. It was in her Patreon, but I believe she's released it already this year. So that's on some pink Aida. I mounted on a piece of mat board, and then I stuck that onto a piece of scrapbook paper, and then it's in the frame. And it's all very, like, quite temporary, so I can change it if I want. But it just makes it easier for me to store them, you know, for the rest of the year. So there we go. I have been like nuts about Valentine crafting this year, and I'm usually not. But this year, I don't know what it is. I just want everything Valentine's. I want everything red, pink, and white, and hearts, and flowers, and doilies. And I jumped in with both feet, and I'm riding this wave as long as it goes. I think I feel because it's like you only get 2 weeks to do your Valentine crafting, and then it's over. So I will continue until I don't feel like it, but I do plan on continuing with Valentine stitching and crafting for even past this weekend, which is Valentine's Day. Whew, that was a ramble. Okay, so those are my finishes, and then I really only worked on 2 other things this month, just because I've been busy doing other stuff, and you know, things that made me tired, like when I painted my basement, I was just tired at night. So one thing I pulled out, this is not Valentine-ish, is I found this kit at a thrift store, I don't know, a couple years ago. So it's for a light switch cover. So it came with the acrylic cover and all the threads and the fabric and everything, which is an 18 count Aida. And I thought, well, if not now, then when? Because I think my last craft room, or maybe even the last 2 craft rooms, like the 2 houses that I lived in, didn't have this kind of light switch plate. So I thought, well, I might as well just do it now. So this is where I got to. It's probably, I don't know, two, 3 evenings worth of work. So it's kind of ticking along. But looking forward to having that completed, because I know you don't often see these things anymore. I don't know if you ever see them anymore. But I thought it will go quite nicely in here. A, because it's cross stitch. B, because it's flowers and butterflies. And I just like it. And then the other thing I've been working on is another Valentine's Day project. So this is called Signs of Love. It's from the December 2022 issue of Cross Stitcher magazine. So I have the Readly app. That's how I access these issues. So this is a printout of what it will look like. Now, normally this is kind of not my style, but I was watching Unfinished Stitches, and is it Madison? I think it's Madison. So Madison had, and I'm really sorry if it's Madeline, I'm sorry, but I think it's Madison. Anyway, so she had been working on this, and just the colors are so bright, and it doesn't, I mean, they're bright on here, but when she showed her stitched piece, I really, really like that. So I tracked the pattern down and printed it out. I'm only going to stitch from here to here. So I'm going to leave this off, and then I'll just do a little fill in there. But the colors are so sweet. I mean, it's pinks and oranges and aquas and spring greens, and it was just, I needed those colors at the end of January. So that's why I picked this one. Now, with the Readly app, you can print the charts off. I just find that sometimes they're really hard. They're just hard to read. And I did blow it up I made an enlargement on my printer, but then the symbols get all fuzzy. So the best way really is to stitch from your device. So that's what I'm doing. And I haven't made a ton of progress. I mean, this is where I got to so far. I started this just before I went away last week, and I didn't do any stitching while I was gone. I did a little bit on the airplane out there, but on the way back I didn't do anything. So I will keep picking away at this for the next couple weeks, or until I decide to stop. My stitching has just been very scattered, and you know what? I'm just going to say I'm okay with that. So I'm not even going to tell you any plans. I have plans for other things, but I have no plans for cross stitch. I'm just going to do what I want when I feel like it, and I'm not going to feel guilty about not getting my goals met, because that just totally takes the fun out of it. So that's it for my cross stitching. I have done no wool applique, although I would like to get maybe one of these started, but again, I don't want to put any pressure on myself, because I mean, there's a waiting list of projects in this room that extend, it's longer than as long as your arm. So we can move on to sewing and quilting. Again, I've been like nuts about the Valentine projects. I went to an in-town quilt retreat, which is the kind of retreat that you just go during the day. You can leave all your stuff there overnight, but you come home, sleep in your own bed, and then the next day you go and you sew, and eat. It's lovely. So this was offered through my guild. So I wanted to take some Valentine projects. So I did this while I was there. So this is a free pattern. Just tip you down a bit. So this is a free pattern from Fat Quarter Shop. I believe it was their stitch along last year. So I thought that was fun, and I could hang it up there. Actually, I like it on there too. Yeah, so I ordered fabric specifically for this. So this is from Robin Pickens, and I can't remember what it's called. It's like Bloom or Peony Love, or I don't know, something like that. So they're all from the same line, and I think it came out this year or the end of last year. But I wanted pink and red and hearts, and I think I got it all there. So that was the first one that I did. Then I did a table runner. So back in December, I pre-ordered the Cupid box from Fat Quarter Shop. So I had never ordered any of their boxes before. I was a little worried because my 1, 2, 3 stitch order took 5 weeks to get here, that the same thing would happen with that one, but oh my gosh, it took like a week and a half. So I had everything totally in time for Valentine's Day, and it was fun to open the box and see everything that was inside, and I was really, really hoping that the fabric they would include would be I think it's called Sew in Love. I was really hoping that would be included, and it was. So I made this partly from the pattern that came in the kit, which I forgot to bring out, but it's a table runner or a door hanger that says XO, and it's got hearts on it. Now I didn't do mine the same, because in the pattern you do 3 rows of hearts on each end. I just did 1. And the pattern, it was an X and an O, 3 rows of hearts, and then, 3 rows of hearts over here. Because it was going to be too big for my table, I decided that I would just do an XO, XOXO, and 1 row of hearts. And that way it fits on my table. And plus I have extra fabric for other Valentine sewing crafts, so I was happy about that. But this just totally, I mean, again, scratched that itch of I just wanted to work with pinks and reds and hearts and flowers, and like, oh, this was just so perfect. I had so much fun with this, like so much fun. So I signed up for the Sew Sampler box. Yeah, I got a notification just before I went on my trip that there was space available, so I signed up for that, and I'm really looking forward to it. But anyway, love it, love it, love it, love it, and I have a lot of fabric left over. They were very generous with what they gave you, so even if I had made the pattern according, or the project according to the pattern, I still would have had a lot of fabric left over. So I'm going to have a lot of fun with this, but look at the cute prints on there. Oh, I just love it. And then the backing is, this was actually a table runner I made years and years ago. It's a linen tablecloth. I got it at the thrift store. So if you see a stain on there, then that was there before. I just thought I would use it as the backing for this. And then I did turn it up over, which isn't like the greatest thing to do, especially because it's on the thicker side, but I also wanted to get it on the table before Saturday, even though I will leave it up till the end of February, but I still wanted to just have it done. Oh, I'm so happy with that. Like, it's so pretty. Yes, I love it. And then I have started another quilt, but I'm not going to show you that until it's finished. And I did do a wall hanging, which is pieced, but I decided I'm not going to show you until it's quilted. So everything's basted together, so it will be done the next time we chat, and you can see that. So that's the other thing I did at my retreat. I took 5 projects and I completed 3. So that's pretty good, because I was only at the retreat for half the time I was supposed to be. Because I left on the last day and I missed half of the first day, or the second day, I think. So while I was gone, my husband and my son and I, we went to Vancouver Island for a week to visit my parents and see my brother and nieces and other family, auntie. We saw them. Great time. So there's the town where my parents live, a new craft store has opened up, so of course I had to go. And I found some fun things. So the next thing on my radar, and I really, really hope to have this finished by next time, is I bought this pattern. It's called the Altoona Tote. And there's like nothing super complicated about it. There are no interior pockets or anything. But yeah, it looked pretty easy. So I'd like to make the medium bag. And I did pick up fabric for it while I was there. So I got these beauties, these spring beauties. Spring happens a lot quicker on the West Coast than it does here. So all the little mini daffodils were out, and there were tulips and all the primroses, and oh my gosh, I love it so much. We're buried in snow here still, but I just, you know, when I saw this fabric, it just had a lovely little kind of vintage feel to it. So this will be the main part of the bag, and then this will be the bottom and the handles. And I will get, I'll just look in my stash for a lining fabric, but I have the foam and everything, so it shouldn't be too long. And now that I have these other projects fully finished, I can probably get to work on this guy, because it's just so springy and lovely. But I might actually wait until March, just to be a little bit closer to spring. But you know, it's totally the daffodils that got me, because daffodils are my favorite. I swear, pinky swear, daffodils are my favorite flower, and all the other flowers in the world are my second favorite flower. So that'll be a nice little memory souvenir make, and I will either use this to take my projects to Yarn Club or take my projects to my sewing get-togethers. And the other pattern I picked up there is called Flower Patch Pillow, and I thought, I didn't buy fabric for this one because I just thought this lent itself really well to using up some scraps. And I don't know if I'll do pink flowers, which they're very lovely, but you know, some blue ones might be nice, sort of like a forget-me-not kind of thing. Or you could do multi, I don't know, but I thought that would be fun to try. So unlike cross stitch, I am making plans for my sewing. And then the other thing I've been doing a fair amount of is crochet. I wanted some more decorations for my little space over here. So I made this garland. It's called Hearts Swag, and it's from Crochet World, February 2010. And that's what it looks like. Not sure if I printed this off the Readly app or this is one I had before. Anyway, so this calls for size 10 crochet cotton. Now I have a box of crochet cotton. Some of it's size 10, some of it's size 3, some of it's size 12. Most of it doesn't have a label on it, so I don't know. I never know until I work it up. So I actually made quite a few hearts that ended up being a lot bigger or a lot smaller than I wanted. And in fact, I put a couple of them. So there's a red one and a white one and a peachy one. Those just kind of didn't make the cut for size. But, you know, the thread crochet is kind of harder to work with. So what I ended up with were these colors, sort of the pinks and corals. Now, sorry, that's a little hard to see against all of this. But they're very, you know, delicate. There we go. So pretty quick to make for sure. Definitely don't do this at your crochet club unless you just really plan on not talking to anybody. But I'm very pleased how this worked out, and I thought 5 was just a good number. So like those, I didn't stiffen them with anything, but what I did do was kind of like steam block them a little bit, and that, you know, seemed to help just get the shape, because it is so fine, you know, it does curl up and stuff. So I have these normally hanging like right there as just another fun little decoration. And then I was watching Haley Post, and she's really sweet. So I was watching one of her older Valentine videos, and she crocheted this heart garland. So this is from worsted weight yarn. Now, she used a pattern from somebody else, and I will write the maker in my description box. I think is it Delia Makes or Delia Crafts or something like that. But she has this cute little heart garland, and this is a free tutorial as well, and you use well, you can use any kind of weight you want. This might actually be DK, and it's all like it's continuous. So you just make a big long foundation chain, and she tells you how to figure out how big to make your chain depending how many hearts you wanted. So I wanted 20 hearts on mine, so I made the chain accordingly. So it's going to be all one color, but it's so quick that I made this in one sitting, so you could very, very easily make several of these in different colors if you wanted different colors. So it really was a lot of fun. Isn't that cute? And like, look how good it looks with that. Oh my gosh. I love Valentine's Day this year. And then I thought I was done, but I wasn't done. Olga Poltava, she's got a lovely YouTube channel. She does crochet tutorials. She also has an Etsy shop where she sells her patterns. And I have purchased a couple of her patterns for bookmarks and made them. I think I showed you, I'm not sure. Anyway, she has a pattern for these little heart bookmarks. This is also a YouTube tutorial, so you can watch the tutorial for free. I decided to buy the pattern because it was like less than $3 Canadian. And then I just like to have the pattern. So these are these little heart bookmarks, which I think are so cute. So I made one in red, and I know the red is size 3. And the pink one, I used the DMC Craft thread, which is pretty close to a size 5 pearl cotton. So the red one is much more stiff, but still works, or is much more stiff. The pink one is definitely softer, but it still works, and it lays flat. So these take no time at all, like maybe 20 minutes. I could make so many, but I just don't read. So, I mean, I try, but I would honestly, at this point in my life, I would rather be crafting than reading. So, we'll see. I mean, these will probably be rehomed, but oh, so cute. So fun. Love those. And then lastly, and this was again influenced by Madison. It is Madison of Unfinished Stitches. So she had been working on, I don't know if it was last year or she finished it this year, but she crochets as well, does a lot of cute granny square things. So she did a heart granny square cushion. And I saw it and I thought, yes, I want that too, because I have a lovely little club chair in my craft room, and I thought this would just look so sweet on it. So I used a pattern, I used a tutorial from Bella Coco on YouTube to make the granny squares. So this is what they are. So I made a lot of testers. So this was my first one, and the color was okay, but I didn't love it. And then I made these kind of lipsticky pink ones, which I really loved, but I only had enough for 2, and I knew I wanted a 9-block cushion. And then I made these light pink ones, and I thought, well, I like those too, and maybe with this it's okay, so it's not bad. But in the end, I settled on these ones. So I have it's not a grapey color, but this color. And then this color, which I don't love, but I think on here it looks okay. So for the back, I used this yarn and just did granny square stuff. And oh, I hate this. It just, it's like vomity pink. I really don't love it, but this was the second backing that I made. And I thought it's not going to get on my chair this year if I don't finish it. So at least it's the back. So I can just have this and I'd be happy with it. And then this yarn, I have another half a skein left and I'm just going to donate it because I don't like it. It's too sickeningly pink for me. But like I said, it's the back. So I'm happy with the front. That's cute. And I just put a regular pillow insert. I think this one's from Walmart. It's a little bit on the small side. It's supposed to be 16 inches, but it really isn't. But it'll do. It'll do for this year. And then with my leftover squares that I showed you, I think with these, because I have 4 and they kind of coordinate, I might try my hand at a pencil pouch, a lined zip pouch, just so I can use these up, because otherwise these have a way of hanging around and then I get in a fit and then I just throw this stuff in the giveaway bag, which is fine. I mean, you know, there's likely someone at the thrift store who would love to find a finished granny square, but sometimes I don't want to do that. And then this one, the first one I made, I think I'm going to just, I'll just continue in rounds with, I don't have this color anymore, but I have one that's close to it. I have a little bit of the pink left because my first cushion back for this cushion was this, which I like a lot better, but it just doesn't go because the colors are much more, you know, like dusty and I don't know, they're just not the same. So I made that and it didn't work. So I made the ugly one. So I think if I have this and then I just kind of do the same thing around, then this can be the front or the back and this can be the other side. The only problem is I ran out of white. I have lots of soft white and I have some bright white, and whatever this white is, I don't have more. And I really don't want to go buy more at the moment. I mean, I'm sure I'll change my mind later. But yes, that's why this will not get completed this year, but I can just put that away. And that's it. So that was a lot. Yeah, that was a lot, but I've been having a lot of fun. And there's so much snow outside. There's nothing to do out there other than shovel, and I don't shovel, so, or I try not to. So I'm in here. And now that all my painting is done, and we did some new flooring in the basement, and now that that is done, I can just get back to crafting. So I'm looking forward to it. So again, thank you so much for joining me today. So it was another quick one. I'm sure I talked super fast, but I don't want it to be too long. So enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the rest of February, and hopefully I'll get back here before a month. Who knows? But in the meantime, take care of yourselves, have fun crafting, and we'll see you next time. Happy days, friends.